you doing?
Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
Where you coming? They can bring you on card.
Patty and Sandy.
That's video, you can move.
That's how my brother ended up there. I went down there, and then he did it. I mean, I have a whole history story about it.
Oh, yeah, only a couple of times.
I still use coach.
I keep just saying, how are you? Charity way.
Have you used a new brand at Fairley?
How are you? Long time no see.
It'll just sound T-Town probably won't be as intense.
And I'd also like to thank musicians who played at the reception. Wasn't the music just wonderful? Thank you to Lee Gordon on the guitar and Lexi Bodick on the bass. So it's a lovely way to start the afternoon. As we get underway, I'd like to first thank Gail Trell for chairing the JHS Heritage Award Committee and today's event. Gail is a past president of JHS and recipient of this award and was on the selection committee for selecting our awardees this year. And I'm sure you'll agree that Gail and her committee did an outstanding job to bring this event together. And by the way, we do it all with volunteers. Thank you, Gail. Next. I'm told I didn't introduce myself. So my name is Ava Weller, and I'm the president of the Jewish Historical Society of Lower Fairfield County. And welcome to you all today to be here for this very special event. It's a special celebration. And I really am so pleased to be able to welcome all of you, to see so many different people from different parts of our community together today. I know that the Lowenthals have touched everyone's lives, and we're so pleased that you're here. And now I'm going to welcome our string quartet, Sarah Fountain on the violin, Lauren Massioli on the violin, Elsie Colbert on the viola, Greg Eggerson on the cello, and this is our first musical tribute to the Lowenthals.
Megillah v'nismecha from Psalm 118. This is the day which the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Dear Ellie, dear Mort, we do indeed rejoice to express our appreciation for the many ways you have enhanced the life of your synagogue, your city, and national institutions as well. Although you are rightly being honored today by a Jewish organization, your contributions have been inclusive, embracing the larger community as well as Jewish love. The importance of caring for the other, the stranger, is deeply embedded in Judaism. 32 times in the 5 books of Moses, it says, with very little variation, you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You know the heart of a stranger. Therefore, care for the orphan, the widow, and the stranger. It is an ideal to which you have responded. Having enjoyed your warm friendship for almost 25 years, I think I understand the spirit that animates your giving, caring ways. Ellie, you have a deep appreciation of how advantaged your life has been, and you have wanted to give in turn, not only to your beloved family, but far beyond. The blessing of inspiring parents has motivated you, and you have emulated their excellent examples. Mort, aware of the value of your own excellent education, you have wanted to expand those opportunities for others. Your dedication to advancing human rights is a part of it. I know well, very well, that you both turn for praise. You have given of yourselves quietly, steadfastly, and generously through many years, never wanting to be singled out for recognition. But today you are allowing us to honor you, knowing, I am sure, that you are not only models for the 2 generations of your own excellent family, but for all of us as well. L'dor v'dor, from generation to generation, may it go on thus for millennia. Kol hakavod, all honor to you with love. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you.
Welcome. What a magical, beautiful afternoon. My name is Ilana Delaney, and I'm the Executive Director of the Bureau of Jewish Education of United Jewish Federation. It is truly a privilege and an honor to be able to join the community in saluting Eleanor and Mort Lowenthal. You have been my role model for true leadership, taking Jewish and non-Jewish causes on yourselves because it is the right thing to do. As devoted and committed Jewish leaders, you dedicated your life to strengthening civil rights and Jewish connection by working tirelessly, giving generously, and never giving up. Mort and Ellie achieved remarkable results in whatever they set their mind to. Eva Weller asked me a couple of days ago, what's Mort's vision in education? Since, he has been working with you for the past 9 years, and he kind of found you. So, I was trying to describe the vision, but I had a hard time to describe it in words. And why was it hard for me? Because Mort is a guy of actions. He does what our rabbis recommend in Pirkei Avot. Say little, do much. Say little, do much. Mort sees the Jewish people as big family under this beautiful tent, colorful tent, I can see that, united by a mission, special mission, and the love for Israel. And how can you strengthen this family, this tent? Only through Jewish education. With teenagers, with young adults, with college students, with teachers, with adult learners. Therefore, Mort has worked with the Bureau of Jewish Education since its inception, sponsoring scholars and sponsoring innovative projects, as well as being involved in every detail. With this drive, he was the key to Kulano, the program for teens. And when these teens become young adults, oh yeah, you will find Mort in the Jewish campus in Hillel, National Board, with a suit and a tie, as well as in New Orleans, swinging a hammer in the spirit of Tikkun Olam. I can tell you on and on, but Gail, is watching me, so I'll be careful. I'll tell you another secret. Because if you ask me, so what is Mort and Ellie's secret? How do they do it all? I think that it has to do with their kind of no-nonsense attitude and with optimistic way of life, that everything is possible. And when I say, oh, it's really tough, and there are so many challenges, what do they tell me? Oh, just do it. And they do it. They do it with absolute persistence, with joy, with humility, with grace, and with charm. Mort and Eleanor, look around you. All of you, you are surrounded with love and with respect. You are surrounded with your family, your beautiful family that I heard so much about. And they're amazing, they're incredible. They're well-educated, Cornell, there we have certain seats, right? Well-educated, lovers of Israel, and very, very committed to justice. And why? Because of you. So I'd like to thank you on behalf of the community. May you and your family be blessed with good health, with long years, and much, much joy and nachat from your kids and your grandchildren, and from all of the many, many students that you have touched along the way. And let us all say, Amen.
Good afternoon. I'm Maggie Levy. I'm the VP of Administration and an ex-president. I bring greetings from wonderful dignitaries this afternoon. I have the Honorable Mayor of Stamford, Michael Pavia, and representatives from other offices. I'm going to let Mr. Pavia present at this point, and then I'll explain who else is here.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be here to represent the city of Stamford in recognition of two outstanding citizens. When anyone gets off the Merritt Parkway or I-95, the first thing that they see in front of them is a sign that says, "Welcome to the city of Stamford, the city that works." Well, I like to think better. I like to think, even though work is a very honorable tribute, and it's something that we've used to describe our city for all these years, I honestly believe that a better word that we can be using right now is welcome to the city of Stamford, a city that cares. And there's no greater example of that than the two people that we're honoring here today, Mort and Eleanor Lowenthal. What I admire most about these two people is not the result of everything that they do, but it's their quiet demeanor and their soft approach. Their quiet demeanor speaks volumes, and their soft approach has hard results. And that combination yields the kinds of things that convinces me that people like Mort and Eleanor, and the city of Stamford, Connecticut, and others like them, actually create the city that cares. To thank you, Mort and Eleanor, for everything you do. And Eleanor, I know you've been very active in education, providing meals and helping feed people that need that help. And Mort, I know what you've done on the Police Commission and what you've done on the Human Rights Commission, and how you've gone on to do things in the Yearwood Center and the Liberation House and St. Luke's Life Works. All honorable. On behalf of a grateful city, I have a proclamation that I would like to read to you. I'm going to have to paraphrase this. Oh, it's in, okay. It's in the program, so I will paraphrase. It's an official proclamation issued by the City of Stamford, and it reads, whereas the City of Stamford is proud to join the Jewish Historical Society of Lower Fairfield County in the celebration of their 27th anniversary as they present Eleanor and Mort, longtime Stamford residents, with the 2011 Jewish Historical Society Award for their tireless commitment to our community and our nation. Whereas for over 50 years, Eleanor and Mort have made numerous voluntary contributions to the fabric of the city of Stamford, devoting their energies to the betterment of the community, working to foster opportunity, education, and achievement, especially for youth, for our area youth, as well as harmony among all people of all walks of life and background. And whereas Eleanor has spent countless hours working with local youth as a driving force of the Stamford Young Artists Philharmonic, as a board member of the Council of Churches and Synagogues, the Fellowship for Jewish Learning, I Have a Dream program, and for decades as a tutor in schools. And whereas Mort has contributed to the community by serving as the first chairman of the Stamford Human Rights Commission, chairman of the Stamford Police Commission, chairman and member of the Yearwood Center for 22 years, and author of the Desegregation Plan for Stamford Public Schools, a model which became a model for other communities. He continues to give back to the community as a board of Hillel National, Kulanu, and Bureau of Jewish Federation, Education. And whereas Eleanor and Mort individually and together inspire the citizens of Stamford by their living example, now therefore I, Michael Pavia, Mayor of the City of Stamford, hereby proclaim Sunday, June 12, 2011, to be Eleanor and Mort Lowenthal Day in the City of Stamford, and we extend our gratitude for their vision and many years of dedicated service to our community. Thank you very much.
Next up, Eugene Campbell from the Yearwood.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm not much for being a public speaker, but I thought the best way to say thank you was to come and personally say to you that we're part of your extended family. While the Jewish Historical Society is honoring you, thousands of minority students would not have been able to escape Jim Crow, segregation, and poverty without your help. And I wanted to make sure that we love you as well and continue to extend our hand of brotherhood and friendship to you. And I thought about what's the best gift that I could give you, a master builder like yourself who builds institutions to serve, empower others, but not shrines to yourself. I just wanted you to know what you started is still here today. But today, instead of just serving brown and black eyes, we serve brown, black, green, and blue. Instead of brown hair, it's brown, and it's gold, and it's yellow. And I want you to know that the mission of Yearwood is the same mission you started today, to give every young person the opportunity to excel. So on behalf of the Yearwood and thousands of young people that you served, I wish you 120 years of good health and care. God bless you.
Next up, we have Kara Pavlik, who is representing Jim Heinem's office.
I am honored to be here today. Congressman Heim sends his regrets, but his sincerest congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Lowenthal for being this year's recipient of the Heritage Award. I'm also honored to be here because I have the pleasure of presenting the Congressional Certificate of Special Recognition for your unwavering commitment to the Jewish community of the area, but also to your dedicated service to the greater Stamford and Fairfield County area. So thank you very much. And again, the Congressman sends his regards.
Bryant here.
Good afternoon. My name is Jack Bryant, President of the Stamford NAACP, and it's an honor for me to be here to recognize and honor two individuals who, on the program, it may say Jewish Historical Society putting this program together, but I just want you to know that you have touched the lives of an entire community. Every race, nationality in the community has benefited off your 50-plus odd years of volunteer service. And we just want to, I'm thankful to be here to be able to present you with a certificate from the Stamford NAACP. And it reads, Certificate of Service. This certificate is awarded to Eleanor and Mort Lowenthal. The Stamford NAACP congratulates you for your long and exemplary history of volunteer service to the community. Humanity, harmony, and heritage, presented Sunday, June 12th, 2011, Stamford NAACP, Jack Bryant, President. Thank you.
We were all, I have never had to move a mic down before. We were also supposed to have a representative from the Honorable Senator Richard Blumenthal's office. We have multiple, I got to tell you, this is a wonderful album that's building up here. We have, I don't have my hand with these things all the time. We have a certificate of recognition from Richard Blumenthal's office also. Let me show everybody. Okay. And we have the official statement from the governor for on behalf of the state of Connecticut, honoring them. So very, very pleased to be conveying all the good wishes from the representatives and senators of the state as well. We have a signed letter from Joseph Lieberman as well, and my own congratulations to the Lowenthals. I really think that you have set a wonderful example for the community. So thank you very much.
I actually always have to pull these down. My name is Marie Orsini Rosen, and I'm the co-president of the Fellowship for Jewish Learning with my beloved husband, Phil Rosen. And really what I have to say here tonight, I think I can probably say not only on behalf of the fellowship, but probably on behalf of everyone in this room. Mort and Ellie, you're our silent partner. It isn't that we don't hear your voice. You keep your voices so low. It's more that we hear the people to whom you've given a voice. And you both know I travel a lot, and somehow I hear your voice wherever I go, and not just here in Stamford, as my friends Eugene and Jack spoke so eloquently about in the mayor, but everywhere, bringing Alana here to come to teach our children for Kulanu. One weekend, I thought that I had the whole weekend to myself. I get a call from Mort. Mort had to raise money for UConn's Hillel. And we needed some help. So there went my weekend, but there also came the Hillel at UConn. Not only Hillel at UConn, but next thing I knew, Mort was down there trying to get an institution going, a Hillel institution going in New Orleans, where my son was attending Tulane, and where Mort and Ellie and their families have done incredible volunteer work. Next thing I knew, there was a Hillel in New Orleans. And by the way, Mort, thanks for taking that out for dinner. I heard he not only needed a meal, but I heard he needed a shower and some clean clothes. So Mort and Ellie, we just want to tell you that we hear you. And we not only hear you, we respect and love you. I think I can say for the fellowship and for everyone in this room that we could take a page from your life. I know I have. Mazel tov.
My name is Tal, and this is Shai, Shoshana, and Lev. We are Mort and Ellie's grandchildren. We also speak for our cousin Joelle, who is not here today because she is training for Teach for America in Atlanta, which just started last week. As is evidenced by this special day, you all know the amount of generosity and volunteer work that our grandparents do. From civic involvement to providing services for the less fortunate, to hands-on participation in the arts, they do so much good. Hillel is another organization which has benefited from their support. And as I have been involved in Hillel at Cornell, I specifically know the impact that they have had on that organization. My grandfather serves on the board of National Hillel, and at the age of 78, as has been mentioned many times, he traveled to New Orleans with me on an alternative break to help Hillel students from universities all over the country rebuild homes post-Hurricane Katrina. Along with all the organizations they've helped, however, we as their grandchildren are the most lucky. Their generosity with their time and energy is hardly limited to the public sector. It continues into our home, where they care most deeply about their family and especially their grandchildren, us. Despite being busy with their philanthropic work, they've always had time to spend with us teaching, mentoring, and having fun. Since we were born, Grandma has driven into the city every Tuesday to spend her time with us. As many of you know, she's an incredible artist, and she used to bring drawing books and painting books to teach me with. I also spent many weekends in my grandfather's shop, building cars and steam locomotives. It's no coincidence that two of my favorite hobbies today are art and building.
Many of the great rabbis have considered compassionate behavior to one's family to be one of the highest forms of tzedakah, or charity. And our grandparents managed to perform this type, as well as the more traditional kind of community service at once, by being involved in an endless amount of activities that affect adolescents, as the previous speakers have given examples. A couple examples that I've had are my grandfather serves on the board of Hebrew College, and that's the parent organization for Camp Yavne, which is a summer camp in New Hampshire that all four of us attended. And every single year that any one of us was there, this must have been over 12 years, the two of them would make a trip up to New Hampshire and spend the day with us to see how the hands-on how the camp was operating on a day-to-day basis. And I was also involved on the Cornell campus in the Israel organization. And both of my grandparents have been involved in the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, APAC. And one year, my organization at Cornell took a trip to Connecticut to campaign for a pro-Israel candidate. And my grandparents generously housed the entire delegation of about 10 students, put us up, fed us, woke us up at 6:30, the obscene hour that they begin every morning to do all of this community service, and got us on our way. This involvement has allowed them to get to know our friends and really be fully invested in all of our lives. And perhaps even more importantly, they understand that intergenerational outreach is really what sustains the morals and identities of the Jewish people in decades to come. It would be hard for anyone to look at all the resolutions that were presented from the dignitaries and not be inspired by their work. And this is how they're great role models to us on a daily basis.
The Talmud says acts of kindness are equivalent to all the mitzvot of the Torah. If acts of kindness are truly that important in Judaism, then, as Shai mentioned, our grandparents are exactly the kind of people who should be looked up to as role models for how Jews and all other people should act. As my sibling said, our grandparents are great examples for all people because they never take a break from performing acts of charity. That generosity extends to their family as well, and we as their grandchildren benefit greatly. They take interest and follow everything we do and involve themselves fully in our hobbies. They take us on trips that match our interests and participate in our activities in all sorts of ways: skating, playing tennis, playing golf with us, playing duets on the piano, reading, and playing board games. My grandpa phones my siblings and me on a regular basis to discuss what we've been up to, and my grandma has come to the city on every Tuesday for the past 23 years. Every single Tuesday for the past 23 years to spend time with us, and she only missed a week when she had surgery. They have also helped us understand the importance of charity. To just give one example, since we don't mind working on Christmas, every year on Christmas, they visit a drug rehabilitation home in Stamford to make a holiday breakfast for the men there. Ever since my siblings and I have been old enough to come along, they have taken us with them to provide a charity opportunity for us too.
From when I was 3 or 4 years old through middle school, my grandma took me to weekly dance classes. While most of the other parents and chaperones left during the class or read a book, my grandma watched every minute from outside, offering encouraging smiles whenever I looked her way. What I appreciate, in addition to her taking me to all the dance classes and ballet performances, is her total dedication and involvement in whatever I'm interested in. My grandma supports all my interests and passions with this type of commitment and devotion. Some of my best memories of my grandparents are on trips. My grandpa has planned many trips for me, from local day trips in Connecticut to international destinations like Toronto. When I was excited about the opening of the new Georgia Aquarium, Grandpa didn't hesitate. Off to Atlanta we went. He was incredibly patient while I spent 2 full days walking around the aquarium. I greatly appreciate all the time he has taken out to travel with me, as well as the time he spends on those trips, teaching me about art or history or any one of his expertises. As evidenced by all these examples, our grandparents are not only charitable in the community, but within our family as well. With all the amazing work they have done for numerous organizations over the years, which we are celebrating today, we feel incredibly lucky that they have always found time to perform acts of kindness in the community as well as in our home. Thank you so much. I'd like to call on Beth.
I'm Meg Lowenthal and I'm the youngest daughter of Mort and Ellie. As you know, my parents are avid classical music lovers, and musicians here are from the Young Artists Philharmonic. My mother was my first piano teacher, and I joined the Young Artists Philharmonic when I started middle school as a violinist, and my mother immediately started volunteering. And when I graduated high school, I've been in the orchestra for 6 or 7 years, my mother continued volunteering. Most parents would, their kids on the soccer team and graduates, they go on to other things. She just kept on going, and she's been going all these years. To this day. Matched in longevity she's matched in longevity by the conductor of the Stamford Young Artists Philharmonic that she's been volunteering for, by Sal Princiati. And so he's been conducting the orchestra for 50 years. And so we thought it would be a fitting tribute for us to play together today. So I've had the pleasure of playing under his baton before, but I've never played with him, so this is a real treat for me. And Sal and I are going to play 2 pieces by Fritz Kreisler, Liebeslied and Liebesfreude.
tell me I'd be following that. Great job. I'm Fred Golov. I'm a past president of the Jewish Historical Society, and I'm the leader of the Jewish Historical Society's Task Force 2020, looking for a vision for 2020. You might be asking yourself, gee whiz, when you look in your books, you'll find this has been a very successful operation for 27 years. It's grown from almost nothing to some very significant contributions to this community. And before I go on, I would like to mention some special group that's here, at least a few people. They're the founders of this society. Our founding president is here. Erwin Miller, are you here? Erwin, you stand up, please. Remain standing, and other people who are part of the first board and that founding group, you please also stand. I know there's at least one person here. Don't be bashful. Lester? Okay, thank you. So why in the world would a Jewish historical society, any historical society, worry about the future? We deal in the past, don't we? Deal in history. Well, what we've learned is that for all the success we've had, we have a little problem, and that is that the world doesn't stand still. The world keeps changing. And for all that we've been able to accomplish over the last 27 years, we want to make sure that we at least do as well for our community, entire community, as we've done over the last 27. And anybody notice how fast the world is changing? Anybody not have a cell phone in his pocket, for example? So we've decided, and our president convened this task force last year, and we worked very hard actually for quite a while at trying to figure out who we are, what we are, and all that. Many of you have been through this with your own organizations, and it's really quite a daunting task, and I think we did very well with it. What's happened is we've come to focus on a few things that we really are the core of who we are. One is that our archives grew from a box to a closet to a small kitchen to where we now have the Jewish archives for the area that is 1,200 square feet and is growing all the time. And so we realized with clarity that one of the things that we must do regardless is to preserve all that exists of the history of the Jewish community of the area. We've had a Jewish community here since late 1600s. Might be that most people don't even know that. Now you do. And so that's really paramount, is that we preserve that heritage. The second thing that we realized was that education is what we really have been doing. It's interesting, we've gone through 27 years educating. And now we've begun, because of this work, to really focus on the big E and education. And there are a number of other factors. I'm not going to go through all of it. Your book has a good write-up on what we've been doing. Another piece, though, that's really significant is community. We want very much to be able to make it as easy as possible for people of other heritages in our community to appreciate us as much as we appreciate them. And they do. We want to make it easy. So we're going to work on that as well as part of the new. Now, I say we will, and I have to tell you that we really haven't launched yet. We're going to our board and our membership this week. And with the clarity you just heard, there's a lot more of it, you can find it in your books. Wasn't that clear at the beginning of this year? What happened was that actually in the last 10 months or so, Mort and Ellie have been really hospitable and gracious and wonderful with my wife Sandy and myself. We got to know each other a bit and decided I really need to go have a chat with this gentleman. And many of you know that I have a long military history, long military background, dozens of years. And one of my favorite people in the world is a guy named John Philip Sousa, the March King. Well, I learned in the short time before we actually met Mort that what you were is the launch king. And we've been working, trying to figure out how to launch. And I can't tell you how much your impetus has been helping us to pull out things that were right in front of our eyes, like education, like community. Another one is family, kids, and stuff that we've done things with, but we really haven't been that focused on it. So I think it's very appropriate to take a moment for us like we just did and talk about the future of the Jewish Historical Society, and I hope of the betterment of our entire community, and to thank you personally, first of all, for all that you've been. Thank you for how much I've learned about how to be You know, and I've been around a while, and I've learned so much in the last few months about how to be. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred. Such lovely, heartfelt tributes. Mort and Ellie, they were just lovely to listen to, and I thought so perfect this afternoon. The Jewish Historical Society's Heritage Award is the Society's highest honor, granted every other year since 1999. With it, we recognize those of significant accomplishment earned over many years, and who, through their depth of consistent and devoted service, strengthen our community and our heritage. I echo what you've already heard today. We are privileged to honor Eleanor and Mort Lowenthal, who together and individually have given much of themselves quietly and behind the scenes over generations for the betterment of Stamford, Fairfield County, the state, and nation. They have deliberately chosen to be in the background and have turned down offers to be honored, as mentioned by Rabbi Emily earlier. We couldn't be more pleased that Mort and Ellie chose to accept our JHS award today. But let me tell you a little bit more. I have personally known the Lowenthals through the Fellowship of Jewish Learning for 24 years. Did you know that Mort and Ellie were born in the same hospital, 2 years apart, and they graduated from the same high school? Was that fate? I'm not sure, but I know that they've known each other for a very long time. I was fortunate to work over those years on many of the projects Ellie especially brought to the fellowship as her outreach chair. Where there was a need for warm winter clothing, food, books, etc., Ellie led the way and organized drives to meet each need every year. I was surprised to learn that Ellie didn't particularly enjoy cooking, since she's so good at it, putting together nutritious meals for over 100 appreciative men at Pacific House and the New Covenant House Soup Kitchen. But that's Ellie. The entire Lowenthal family cooks and serves, as you heard earlier, on Christmas, so others observing the holiday can be with their families. What an extraordinary example of a caring family tradition. Where did this passion for helping others come from? Well, it's a family tradition. Ellie's grandfather, Arthur Levine, was one of the founders of Boys Town in Jerusalem in 1948, and the family carries on his legacy of caring for others. Their daughter Terry shared with me a few passages from Rabbi Joseph Telushkin's Book of Jewish Values, a day-by-day guide to ethical living, which both Mort and Ellie cherish and use as an inspiration. Jewish law attributes great significance to the performance of kind acts and teaches that offering one's time and one's heart represent the highest form of giving. This is the very personal caring the Lowenthals demonstrate in so many ways, such as Mort's annual trips, which you heard about, with Hillel college students to rebuild houses and lives destroyed by Katrina. Not only does he work hands-on with the students, but he's an exemplary role model for the next generation. Together and separately, they have reached out personally, time and time again, to unite people and have shown great respect and compassion for those in need. That's their humanity shining through. I know the Lowenthals had a profound impact on many individuals through Ellie's tutoring and through their work together with the Coalition of Mutual Respect at Bethel AME Church. But I only learned recently about Mort's work in the 60s as the first chairman of the Human Rights Commission, where he worked for justice and human rights for all people and especially minorities. As the chairman of the Police Commission, he worked to bring minority officers into the police force. He also helped to establish and build the Yearwood Center when Stevens School was closed. He saw a great need in the community for a full-service center and was the new Yearwood Center's first president and a board member for more than 22 years. That's Mort. Now more than 40 years later, the Lowenthals still enrich the lives of Yearwood Center students with their altruism by bringing students to the Twin Rinks for fun days. Stamford icon Rabbi Joseph Ehrenkrantz, who now lives in Tel Aviv, could not be with us today, but says of the Lowenthals, they dedicated their lives, without the accompanying fanfare, to humanitarian causes that benefited many people and our community as a whole. Hats off to Eleanor and to JHS. That's Ellie and Mort together. Do you love music? Does your child love to play classical music? The Lowenthals have supported the arts and the Stamford Young Artists Philharmonic for many decades, where Ellie served in many leadership and supportive roles. We have all benefited from generations of trained musicians and music lovers. We use music here today to symbolize the harmony the Lowenthals bring and the way they complement each other by working so harmoniously together for the causes they believe in. In a larger sense, this is the way they brought groups together through their combined and individual leadership. They share passion for creating equal opportunities, for education, and for making learning available to young and old. Mort was the author of Stamford's desegregation plan at a time that it was not required by law to balance schools by race. His vision for social justice through education was a model for other communities and put the Jewish principle of justice and standing up for justice for all into practice. Where he saw a need, he worked with others to develop a plan, not only to meet the current need, but ensured it would have a future impact. I am pleased our mayor is here today to recognize the Lowenthal's contributions and legacy, which makes Stamford the multicultural city it is today. Ellie shared with me the story of how Mort, then chairman of the police commission, would visit the building site for the new police station, then go into New York City for a full day as an investment banker, and before going home would visit the site again to see what progress had been made that day. That's Mort. Mort has the rare quality of not only seeing what is necessary, but the diligence to see it through to completion. That meant spending countless hours ensuring the positive outcome, and our city is better for it. Mort is a visionary leader and mentor in the Jewish community. When the need for an education program for teens was identified, Mort helped create Kulanu. He wanted teens connected to their Jewish heritage and was instrumental in the establishment of a new Jewish high school to assure a new generation grounded in Jewish education. Others around town suggested the need to bring the Jewish community together through adult learning. Mort was there to make it a reality. Hundreds in the community have benefited from UJF's Bureau of Jewish Education and the Tapestry Evening of Learning. By the way, Mort and Ellie personally went to Florida to interview the new director, Dr. Ilana Delaney, and the rest is history. But that's not all. Over many years, Mort has brought nationally recognized speakers such as Rabbi Telushkin and Avram Infeld and others to Stamford. He is strategic and purposeful in bringing those who share his vision of the communal heritage of the Jewish people here to college campuses and the message to teens and adults. Mort, you see, works tirelessly, mouth is dry, and quietly for all of us to be able to learn together. Most of us here know the Lowenthals and at least a few of the good works they have done individually and together. But I'm sure no one here, not even their family, know all the good they have done for this community, the city, and beyond. As we look around the room, there's not one person left untouched by their work. Even those not here today are benefiting, as will the generations that follow. Griff Trow, former president of the Fellowship for Jewish Learning, summed it up well when he said, "I am struck by their unfailing persistence and consistency to the cause, to all their causes. Their devotion, creativity, and sage advice have inspired and enriched each of us." It is often said that quiet waters run deep, and so it is with the Lowenthals. Their compassion and hard work will have a ripple effect that will continue to touch lives through the generations, through their family and the many lives where they have truly made a difference. As Rabbi Telushkin said, "The good that you do lives on forever. When the good you have done for others will go on being done, even by people you have never met and will not know." That's a true legacy. A legacy of humanity, harmony, and heritage. That's what we honor you with Thank you. It's been our tradition and custom to have past recipients award the award, but before we do that, before the formal award ceremony, I invite Rona Shenkerman-Straykosh, this year's, our first poet laureate of the JHS Heritage Award, to come up and share her special poem commemorating this special day for the Lowenthals.
Thank you. When I was first asked to write a poem for Eleanor and Mort, I thought, oh my God, I haven't been asked to write a poem on a subject since high school. And how can I do this? And I thought, well, it's Eleanor and Mort. How can I not do this? So, with much love, Eleanor and Mort. 2 trees, deeply rooted, limbs now entwined. Wind's whispers carry dreams of tomorrow to plant in rich soil under sheltering branches. Rustling leaves, changing with time, filter the sun's heat, snowflakes chill. When storm's fury tightens the branches reaching, ever swaying, protecting the growth below. Buds of promise, nurtured by soil rich in the tree's essence, blossom into life's colorful reality. 2 trees, limbs entwined, changed life's landscape.
Is that we really appreciate your time. And now, if Mort and Ellie would like to come up and say a few words to accept the award, thank you.
When I was approached by the Jewish Historical Society to accept this honor, I was truly reticent. I give them a big bow. I believe that young people who are in their prime should reap the honors as an incentive that will get them more involved. But then I focused with some urging on the word historical and felt by having the community hear some of the things that have happened, it might bring more, this might stimulate thinking that could enhance how we move forward. Maybe you've taken a lot of my stories away from me because I was going to talk about some of the things that I was involved in. And what I was hoping to convey was how working together with a broad array of ethnic, religious, and racial groups in Stamford has made this city such a desirable place to live. And hopefully our continuance of such participation and interaction can further enhance the community of living. I won't go through these stories again, but I hope you've heard some of the things. It's such an honor to have people from your center here to talk about the integration of the schools, the Human Rights Commission is something involved in our community. I think you see that these are instances where the community was broadly involved and when the Jewish community became involved and worked together with so many other groups. So let me make it short. Let me conclude by thanking all of you for being here, especially my daughters, their spouses, my grandchildren, and my sister Midge, who used to be a resident here in Stamford and came up from Florida for the occasion. And most importantly, let me commend the work of the Jewish Historical Society and its importance to the local Jewish community. The Society has been working in recent months on a plan to revitalize itself through a formal planning process to update its mission statement and describe its future programs for community service, engagement, and education. I hope this event will impel all of us here to increase our involvement and support the society as it moves forward. Thank you very much.
We are honored to be chosen for the Jewish Historical Society of Fairfield County Heritage Award, and to share this special day with our family and friends, many of whom we have known for over 50 years. I was fortunate to be born into an extended family which included a father and grandfather who set a wonderful example of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. Not only did I have inspirational parents and grandparents, but also I never wanted for anything. On the other hand, from an early age, I was aware that the children with whom I came in contact had almost none of the advantages that I had, and I have always had empathy for those who are not as fortunate as I. So I suppose that it is that empathy that has naturally led me to not only be involved with wonderful artistic organizations, such as the Stamford Young Artists Philharmonic, important Jewish and religious causes such as the Council of Churches and Synagogues, and organizations that serve the many people in our area who are in need, but also to work with children who can benefit from extra help with their academics and impart an awareness of the importance of good education in their lives. I am grateful for the rich heritage, love of learning, and tradition of philanthropy that was passed down to me. The Jewish Historical Society helps to record, inform, and preserve the history and values of the Jewish people. And I hope you will support and contribute to the work of this important organization, and to join Mort and me in continuing to address the needs of our local and national community. Thank you very much.
Stamford Young Artists Philharmonic. I thought that would be fitting to show how much talent has come through the organization that Ellie has really spent much of her adult life helping. Joseph Nagulia on bass and Geron Clouden on drums.
Phenomenal. Now I know how much and why Mort and Ellie love you. I'm Gail G. Trell, coordinator of today's program, and it has been an honor. I am thrilled that I had the opportunity to get to know Ellie and Mort and Terry Ann and Meg, wonderful people to work with, and it's just an honor. What a phenomenal and deserving couple. Before I close today's program, I'd like to recognize the entire committee, which you will find in this book, so I'm not going to read every name. But I do need to take the privilege of thanking and acknowledging a few. Thank you, Rabbi Emily Korsnick and Alana Delaney. You added charm and elegance, grace to our program. Our thanks to the Fellowship for Jewish Learning for being a partner in this. Let me also mention a few key people that I worked with Terry Ann being the family liaison. She was great. Hillary Weinroth was the designer of our invitations and the program journal. And it's a novel. You're all assigned to take it home and read it. Barbara Trout did our floral and decor for the afternoon. Jim Samuels was our reservation expert. Arnold Yellen and Hay photographers will have our memories focused on the memories with pictures. Edith Needle was our PR outreach. Bernie Levy, communications, and he's also on the video. Julie Harris, thank you for your media help. But the people that worked the hardest on getting this all together was our team. We call ourselves the Core Four. The pleasure of producing it together and making all these memories. That would be Ava Weller, our president, Fred Golov, our vice president, Maggie Levy, our vice president, and I'm a vice president. And what organization do you know that brings vice presidents who were presidents? Something. And I need to also thank our spouses. Even though Maggie and Bernie are very active together as a couple, Ava, Fred, and I could not have done all of this work without the help and support of our spouses. So Steve Trell, Chad Weller, and Sandy Golov, thank you. The theme for the day has actually come alive. Humanity. You have met our humanitarians. We have witnessed the harmony with music and collaboration of the many organizations that you have brought together. And of course, now you know that the JHS is the keeper of the heritage. With the Lowenthal's display of dedication to the community and beyond, JHS continues and will continue to preserve our heritage of the past and the present for the future. Thank you for coming and supporting this event. Did I forget someone? Thank you, dear Ellie and Mort. We love you. And if you are not already a JHS member, please consider joining today. And our caterer has remained behind so that we will be able to have continue with refreshments, and you can get together and give your personal congratulations to Mort and Ellie. And thank you for coming. Good afternoon.